Okay, so today I'm going to install Yosemite and El Capitan on my P8Z68-V LX motherboard with i5-2500k. This is an old computer, and I'm going to put it on 400 gigabyte hard drive, NVIDIA GS8400. So this one will be natively supported. So what I do is now I just disconnect everything except hard drive. Let's start. Alright, so what we need to do is to plug in the USB Clover. I use right now is the 3320. So let's start. Okay, when you turn it on, you want to go to set up the BIOS to make sure that it works. Okay, so in the advanced set mode selection, make sure it's HHCI. So I turn on the virtualization technology for me to put the to install the VMware. Okay, so when it's done, we hit F10 and save it. Now as soon as reboot, we need to hit F8 boot selection. Now I'm going to boot from my SanDisk Cruiser Blade. Now, not UEFI, okay? Because we use MBR. This one doesn't have UEFI. So if you configure the Clover correctly for the MBR, it will come up like this. Alright, so now boot Mac OS X from OS X base 10.10.5. Go. So now what we need to do is to go to utility, this utility. Now I see my 400 gig right here. So what I'm going to do is going to partition this one. Now current is like that, I'm going to delete it anyhow. So I'm going to put two partitions. One of them is going to be, make sure this one is the MBR, okay, master boot record. This one is going to be Yosemite. This one is Yosemite 10.5 to make sure that I remember that. Mac OS extended journal, and this one El Capitan 10.11.3. Okay, so now I name it and I get ready to apply. Again, make sure it's boot record, right? Master boot record. Okay. So click apply. It will be erased. Yes. So the reason I only put one hard drive that I'm going to do is to make sure that I don't delete or format the wrong one if I have too many hard drive in there. Alright, so it's done. Close it. Now we're going to install. Here you're going to see right away Yosemite 105 I just formatted, and also El Capitan 113, but it is Yosemite. So I'm going to click on Yosemite and I click install. So this one right here is going to take 17 minutes and we're going to come back later. Okay, so it's done. Now it's reboot back into the Clover. Now I'm going to plug in the El Capitan, so I'm going to install both of them at the same time. So with Clover, they will auto detect even if you plug it in later. It came up. Okay, so now we can boot from base system 113. Okay, so since we already configured, so we don't need to go to utility again, so all we need to do is continue. And now we're going to install into El Capitan 113, the one that we created, and it will take another 17 minutes. Okay, so both of the El Capitan and Yosemite loaded. I'm going to boot first, boot Mac OS X from Yosemite. So this one is going to take a little longer because it's going to build the cache. So the attempt to rebuild the cache, so it take a while. Okay, so the cache rebuild is done. Alright, when we see this welcome screen, that means it's done. So start filling it out. I want to stop here. So after you enter everything, it should come up perfectly. Okay, so Yosemite, and install all the kext for the Ethernet, the fake SMC, and the important thing is that the generic USB 3.0 from RehabMan. We're going to boot from El Capitan to set it up. So we use the same boot argument for Yosemite and El Capitan for now. Okay, so after rebuilding cache, we start loading. Alright, so this is El Capitan. Just fill out all the instruction here, information, and we're done. Okay, so you set up everything, fill out everything. So again, what we need to do on this one, After installing the Clover, you should be able to boot straight from the hard drive. 3354. This is the newest version right now. Beautiful. Okay, so after installing all the CAC, what is working? The pad audio from Toleda works really well. Internal speakers. The input I'm talking right now is from the internal microphone for my headset. The Bluetooth is working is because I put a mini nano dongle 4.0 from SMK. So actually this one is working very well. So I'm connecting with my Bluetooth mouse from HP. The Ethernet worked from the beginning when I put it in the kext folder. The display is working, network is working, Bluetooth is working, sound is working. Also I put in a USB camera, the old one, many years ago. It's working too, so it will be perfect for video chat, FaceTime. The only problems right now I have with this El Capitan is the USB port only 2.0 because the Mac Mini 5.2 does not have, is not configured for HSCI. With the RehabMan generic 3.0, I can get the 2-port 3.0 USB port in the back working. Without it, it won't work, but it's only work with USB 2.0 speed. So now practically everything's working. So you can do practically everything. It's pretty fast. I created two USB Yosemite 10.10.5 and the other one is El Capitan 10.11.3 to make sure that it will install correctly. So we need to copy the base system chunk list and base system.dmg for the Yosemite, and also Apple diagnostic chunk list and diagnostic and system chunk list, and also the base system for the El Capitan to make sure that it doesn't have the error of installation. Those are hidden files. So the Clover, make sure that we have the correct SMBIOS config. For the ACPI, all I do is put fixes. The boot. Now we can put this one the default volume, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that for the older computer, you need to have dot equal to 0. And devices, I'm gonna patch. This one has the ALC 888S, which is 887. So I'm gonna patch using Toleda. It will work perfectly. So I need to inject layout ID of 1. USB, fixed ownership, no. Inject, yes. Disable driver is always there. GUI, this one's going to be 1208, 1980. Mouse, doesn't matter. Graphics, I'm using NVIDIA, so I'm not going to turn on the Intel. So inject NVIDIA, yes. Kernel and kext patches. Patch everything to make sure it doesn't have kernel panic, except Haswell, which we don't have. Variable, make sure this one is 67, and you have to create your own MLB and ROM. The ROMs, actually make sure you get the MAC address for the Ethernet built in, which is Realtek 8186. BIOS version, I use Mac Mini 5.2. So you can use whatever you want, but this is what I use. Okay. System parameter. Make sure you have the custom user ID and the last numbers are from the ROM, which is the Ethernet MAC address. So make sure you have this so you can have iMessage and FaceTime working. So that's its config. That's the most important one, because if not, it's not going to work. So make sure you have HFS Plus and NTFS. Okay, these two are important. The kext, Yosemite is 10.10. All I put is the fake SMC and the Realtek. This one is from RehabMan, Gigabit driver. Also, for the El Capitan, we do need the Realtek. So in case we can connect it right away. Okay, so copy and paste it over here. So all I need is two, fake SMC and Realtek. So that's it. So the ACPI, I don't use it. Now one important thing is that these are old computers, so they don't have UEFI. So what you need is you need to patch the base system with MBR capability. I'm going to patch MBR base system, Yosemite 10.10.5 and Capitan 10.11.3. System, installation, packages. So all you need to do is to replace this one with that. Replace. Okay. So the next one you want to replace, system library, private frameworks. And you're going to go to installer frameworks. You go to version. You go to A. And replace. All right, with Yosemite.